In Scripture, prayer includes much more than making known our request to God, and this is something which His people need reminding of, and some of them instruction in these days of superficiality and ignorance. The very verse that presents the privilege of spreading our needs before the Lord emphasizes this very thing. In everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving let your requests be made known unto God, Philippians 4:6. Unless gratitude be expressed for mercies already received and thanks be given for granting us the continued favor of petitioning our Father, how can we expect to obtain His ear and receive answers of peace? Yet prayer in its highest and fullest sense rises above thanksgiving for gifts vouchsafed. The heart is drawn out in contemplating the giver himself, so that the soul is prostrated before Him in worship and adoration. Though we ought not to digress from our immediate theme and enter into the subject of prayer in general, it should be pointed out that there is yet another aspect which needs to take precedence over those referred to above, namely self-abhorrence and confession of our unworthiness and sinfulness. The soul must solemnly remind itself of who it is that we are approaching, even the Most High, before whom the very seraphim veil their faces, Isaiah 6. Though divine grace has made the Christian a son, nevertheless he is still a creature, and as such at an infinite and inconceivable distance below the Creator. Therefore it is fitting he should both deeply feel and acknowledge this by taking his place in the dust before Him. Moreover, we need to remember what we are, namely, not only creatures, but, parenthesis, considered in ourselves, sinful creatures, and thus we need both a sense and an owing of this as we bow before the Holy One. Only thus can we, with any meaning and reality, plead the mediation and merits of Christ as the ground of our approach. Thus, broadly speaking, prayer includes confession of sin, petitions for the supplying of our needs, and the homage of our hearts unto the giver Himself. Or we may say prayer's principal branches are humiliation, supplication, and adoration.